The best of the Morning X. 99.9.
Barnes, Leslie, Jimmy, Rob Van Winkle is on the phone. Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot.
Now, you've been on with us a couple times before, and before we move on, we just want to ask you about something.
Okay.
We're getting the emails and the calls and all the people who are paranoid about us calling you Vanilla Ice.
We just got a directive from your PR people before we went on the air that insisted we not call you Vanilla or Ice, that you're called Rob.
I mean, almost to paranoid levels of making sure. I mean,
what's up?
No, man, no worries. I'm not running from anything or anything. You know, I respond to that, actually, but basically I just want to be myself, you know?
Sure.
So, you know, everything that was created around me before was all, you know, basically an image. I was just, you know, fitting.
Sure.
And, you know, back in the early 90s. So, I know the name and the stigma and everything is still attached to me, so I respond to it, but I just prefer to be called Rob.
It doesn't have to be a bad stigma, but isn't your website vanillaice.com?
Yeah. So I'm not changing anything or nothing. I just prefer to be called Rob, you know.
I got you.
Well, Rob?
You'd be surprised. Some people call me, hey, Vanilla, you know, and it just sounds
Well,
you know?
Well, Rob, let's start off with last night. You had your ass handed to you.
Yeah, man.
That was rough.
I had you picked as my guy to take out that guy in that round.
You know, I picked myself, too.
I think you might have picked it and thought it was going to be a pushover.
Yeah, well, you and me both, man. I tell you, this thing was not what I expected. I mean, I didn't have any training or anything, and, you know, it was a big slugfest, but I tell you, they caught me off guard, man. And then I found out that they knew about this, like, way before I knew about it. So they had
really?
time to train for it.
Well, wait a minute. Time to train. He has bigger boobs than Madonna, dude. I mean, I don't know how much training.
He was looking soft.
He was looking real soft, but he just came out like just an attack.
I tell you what,
machine.
man, boxing has nothing to do with street fighting or anything like that. It's got a lot to do with, you know, your breathing, and I swung out, man. I didn't have much left in the power, you know. Plus, I had a bad motocross crash like 3 days before that at the track, so I wasn't feeling too good, man.
Yeah.
But
you looked like you were flailing a little bit towards the end. Let me ask you about a couple things about that. First of all, the gloves. Those were 16-ounce gloves, I believe.
16, they were big
and
gloves.
And what are normal boxing gloves? You know?
Yeah, it depends on the weight, but 12 ounces.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So when you got hit, because you had the protective headgear, but did it still hurt when you got punched with those things?
Yeah, you felt it. You know, it wasn't so much the pain that you felt through it, but
just the blow.
The blow. You know, you're moving your head and your equilibrium and everything takes you a minute to get back in tune. But
is he a strong guy?
You feel it. What's that?
Is he a strong guy? I mean, was he bringing some pop with those punches?
Oh, he had some heat.
That surprised me. I really thought, I said, dude, Rob Van Winkle, easy. Vanilla Ice can take him out.
Well,
I thought easily.
But see, we always think of him as Wilson. Like, you are, 6'3", right? And he's 6'2".
Yeah, everybody thought he was like, 15 years ago with that movie.
Yeah.
And that's the way I even thought him. I thought it was going to be a pushover, so I was like, train? Who cares?
Well, he looked like he did have a little training because he had a little more form.
Well, he went to prison and everything, and I found out he boxed through prison, and he has this sparring partner and all this stuff, and I'm like, and I found this out the day of the event, and I'm
when they came to you about this, was it always him where they say, would you do this, and do any of these guys look appealing? Would you like to box anybody? Or
No, they were throwing me off because they first told me I was going to fight like Coolio, then this guy Mystical, and then they told me Luther Campbell, then they told me MC Hammer. They were throwing all these names at me, and then it was like 2-3 days before the event, before I actually even knew who I was going to fight.
And they're like, it's just Willis. You'll be fine.
Willis. And I'm like, cool. And I was like, how much is the weight? He says he's got you by about 5-6 pounds. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, now I want to ask you another question because I think you're the first person I can ever ask who has met Tanya Harding. Dude, I thought I know this is weird, but I thought she was like nasty hot.
Yeah, you were turned on? Oh, man, you're starting to scare me.
But you know how, there's a certain trashiness that's kind of hot, and there's a certain trashiness that's not, and I'm just thinking,
seeing this.
She's not the kind of girl you want to marry, but she just has that, nastiness about her that, was there any, is she attractive?
Whoa. Man, I don't know what you're seeing.
Well, you've got a new album out, right? Double bipolar, double CD?
Yeah, man.
Putting out 2 discs at once. What's all on this?
I got Slipknot on it, man. I got Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy. I got Soulfly on it. It's a big collaboration record, man. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that, so it's like a musical adventure for me. I had a lot of fun.
Weren't
Man.
you just here in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I was there for the Supercross. I come
Okay.
through there every year for the Supercross.
I'll tell you what, those guys are out of their minds. That is intense.
Oh, it's the best sport on earth.
I
man.
mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Well, speaking of intense, there was one other thing about last night I noticed. They never called attention to the fact on screen that I saw that in your corner was Tank Abbott.
Tank Abbott, you recognize that?
Yeah, but they were calling him somebody else, weren't
Really?
they?
No, that was my other guy, trainer Jeff.
But why-
Jeff was the other guy. You couldn't see him because Tank is so big.
Now, Tank Abbott, for you, those of you who don't know, is a guy who came out of Ultimate Fighting, who actually started off just as a bouncer
Is he the
in
mean-looking dude?
Long Beach. The guy with the
With the
beard.
beard?
That
Yeah.
guy
Yep.
is the toughest MF. You don't even ever want to go near that guy. He's insane.
What was he
Yeah.
telling you between rounds?
Oh, man, he was just telling me, just keep swinging, just keep swinging. I know you're tired, keep swinging. That guy right there, man, let me tell you, he's one of my heroes, man. I've seen him knock out so many people on the UFC. It's unbelievable,
Well,
man.
not only that, but I know he used to just go to like whenever they would tape those Ultimate Fighting Championship things, they'd always have like a cast, like a little post party afterwards at a hotel, and he and his guys would go in there and they'd start kicking ass at the parties.
Oh, yeah, he's a good friend of mine, so I'm very aware of his off-the-stage skills.
Yeah, I met him a few times when he was with WCW. He is whack.
Oh, when he gets drunk, man, you better step away. He's hilarious. I mean, he'll have you laughing, but at the end of the night, he's always got to get in a fight for some reason.
Exactly.
Hey, how's the Ice Palace in Miami?
What's that?
Your Ice Palace. Don't you have a big
Oh,
playground
yeah,
there?
man, it's great. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale right now. You know, I live in Fort Lauderdale. And
Oh,
I'm
do you?
just, yeah, we moved here a couple years ago up from Miami, and it's spring break here right now, so it's loaded, I mean, just with people everywhere, all over the beach. It's pretty sweet.
Jimmy and I will both be in Miami this weekend. We thought we'd roll by.
Yeah, man, come on.
I'm going to roll with my 5.0.
Yeah. All right, man. Good luck on the new album, Bipolar.
Okay, brother, thank you.
We'll
All
talk
right.
to you soon, Rob.
Okay, guys,
All right,
y'all
we'll
take
see you
care,
later.
man.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see you later, Rob.
Rob Van Winkle.
Vanilla.
He's a cool guy.
He is a cool guy.
He
I
takes a
know
lot
he
of crap,
is.
but every time he's been on, he's really down to earth.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, dude's hanging with Slipknot. I mean, that's pretty hardcore.
Man, I went to a show the last time he was here.
Yeah.
It is hardcore.
It's loud.
I mean, he does a version of Ice Ice Baby that is complete
Yeah.
Slipknotized.
Well, we played it once or twice. Yeah,
Did we?
it's barely recognizable.
It's loud. His show is piercing. He definitely has changed the
Well,
image.
He was a girly girl last night.
He did not fight well.
He fought like a girl.
And I believe when he says he wasn't prepared. Now, see, now you think about it with Willis coming out of prison. He was boxing in prison.
He still
looked
thinks-
like he had boxed before.
Yeah, he still thinks Willis was 10 years old.
Yeah. I would have been, no problem. Willis? Sign me up.
Dude shot a drug dealer, went to jail.
Yeah, you're right. You
South
pegged
Central.
The best of the Morning X. 99X.